All right, folks, today I'm going to show you another solar panel. This is a 100-watt solar panel from ROCKPALS that I picked up on Amazon Prime Day. Welcome to the Vapor Trail channel. I'm Tony, and yeah, today we're going to be looking at another 100-watt solar panel. This one considerably smaller than the previous one that we looked at, the one that I picked up at Harbor Freight. This one I picked up on Amazon Prime Day. They have their own website though. ROCKPALS is the name of the company, and they're pretty popular apparently. Now I'm still kind of new to all this stuff, but I'm really into it because I live in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's also known as Hurricane Central. Often when there is a hurricane on the East Coast, you'll see that they put the Weather Channel right out here in Kill Devil Hills. And yeah, I mean, it's just something we have to deal with. We also have other storms like nor'easters and things like that that will take out your power from time to time. So solar is definitely something that I like. I'm also thinking about lessening my carbon footprint. I use a lot of electric skateboards, electric bikes. As a matter of fact, this is a box from an electric skateboard that I'm going to be reviewing soon. And I would love to be able to charge all of those things just using the sun. I've yet to find a solar generator that's appropriate for that yet, but I will. So let's take a look at this ROCKPALS solar panel. We'll go inside and do an unboxing first. Yeah, this is my second solar panel setup. Also a 100-watt solar panel. It's from a company called ROCKPALS. I picked this up on Amazon Prime Day and just getting around to doing something with it. Hey man, life gets busy, so it's a portable solar panel, SP003 100 watts. Seems to be a pretty popular one on Amazon. I will tell you this though, this thing wasn't packed really well. This right here, this little sticker was the only thing that was actually holding this thing together, and it was like this. And this part, the flap was kind of open like this. I was like, oh boy. Now I did open this up and take it out of the plastic and kind of gave it a quick inspection. So your manual, ROCKPALS 100-watt solar panel, output 100 watts and 18 volts. Your rock solid power pals. Now I liked this one because the other one that I have, it's really nice. It's a big metal framed glass, and it definitely has good output. I was getting 60 to 70 watts output from the panel into the Anker 521 power station. But this is attractive to me because look how small that is. I mean, that's how thin it is. It's 100 watts. Pull this out of here. Now, like I say, I did open this and inspect it. There's a couple things that are a little bit funky with it, and I'm hoping that it's not going to affect the performance. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be or whatever. Inside of here, you've got your cables, and you've got a plethora of attachments to make sure that you have the right size to plug into your solar power station or whatever. They've got these types of connectors inside of here. And those would connect to these, and that right there should go right into the power station that I currently have, or you can take these and use these to adapt it. Just like that. This is going to be kind of hard to show here. Where this cable is connected down here, so I started feeling down here, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to show you this, but when I feel this right here, the rubber, you know, the outer part of this cable feels like it's kind of pulled away. I don't know that it's supposed to be seated inside of this plastic piece right here or not. But hopefully that does not affect the performance of it. Maybe that's just how it is. You really can't get to it because the zipper doesn't go down that far. And then you've got this over here, which you've got DC, Type-C, USB 2, and USB 1. So you should be able to charge like an iPhone or an iPad or even plug in a computer directly to this. That's where the manual comes into play, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, film a little bit of footage while I'm putting it all together and using it, and then I'll put it all together with a final video. So technically something like this might be able to be plugged into that, and then that plugged into your solar generator to charge it, or you can use the cables that are here and connect these to them and then be able to plug it in like that. So I'm going to close this up real quick here. Then we flip it over, and that is the front of it. It says to press right there. That comes out. That comes out. She folds open just like this. And it's nice and small. So there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 panels on this. And I wasn't sure, yeah, I can tell you now that I'm looking at it, this does not have little kickstands on it or anything like that, so it's going to be all about where you place it and how you lean it up and all of that. I would much prefer it to have some kind of kickstand built into it, but it does not. And I guess, you know, in the small form factor that it's in, I mean, that's how thin this thing is. Maybe that's just one of the things you give up. So as always, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test this thing out, put it through some paces and find out what things I like and what things I don't like. Then I will finish filming this video and put it all together in one for you. All right, so as we know, we're just going to press these. Those open up. Now this panel, the footprint of it is, well, it's smaller overall on a, folded up scale than the briefcase that I showed you before. But because it is smaller, it has 4 panels. That's why I got this box out here, because this does not have kickstands on it. So I got to get this thing at about 90 degrees. And that's somewhat, I think that's about right there. So there we go. Just that easy to set this thing up. Undo the latches, fold it out. Then over here, we've got the zipper. Undo that. We'll just pull all this out of here. Now, one thing I do want to do, I really I like to pair things up, all right? So I've got the Anker power station, this 521 that I've shown you here on the channel. You can check out the link that's popping up right over here. And this one, it is way better than the Big Blue for a bunch of reasons, not the least of which is what's on the display. This will actually tell me what the output of this panel is. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. But first, I'm going to have to get, we've got the extra connectors here. The one that comes on there plugs right into the Big Blue that I've got, but the Big Blue will not tell me what the output is. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug this onto here, just like that. We're going to plug this in there. Okay, we're charging, this says only 11 watts. Okay, now we're up to 41 watts, 51 watts. I'm going to let that go for just a minute and see how, what it does with this Anker. Because on the display of the Anker, it will tell me exactly what the output wattage is. Now, with the other solar briefcase that I have, that one, I was getting about 65 to 70 watts. It's a 100-watt panel. Doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily always put that out. The sun is actually over here. I'm going to tilt this a little bit. And after doing that, I'm at about 57 watts. So that is not too bad. The other one was getting 60 to 70 watts, depending on how the angle was and all that kind of stuff. But that has the kickstands on it that automatically put it at the angle that you want it at. So we could probably angle this a little bit more. If you were camping, you would probably just lean this up against your tire or something like that. So yeah, I can mess with the angle on this and everything else and get it just right. But for the convenience, the size of this panel, I'm actually really liking it. All right, so to put the other one on here, we're just going to take this adapter off of it. And we'll just bring this guy over here. Now, the adapter that's already on here fits perfectly right into that. And it's charging. Like I say, though, I don't know what the input wattage is of it or anything like that with this other power station. So you just got to kind of trust it and hope you get the angles right. But whew, it's a hot one out here, boy. It's been really hot on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So yeah, you're going to have something to lean this up on. It's going to have to be at the right angle. It doesn't have its own kickstands. But for the convenience of this thing, it is nice and small. And as a second panel set, well, I like it. Now, one thing I do want to test is just plugging in an iPad directly to the USB that's on the back of this thing. So let's see how that goes. That is something I have not tested yet. It's not as easy and apparent as it looks it would be to get it in there. There we go. Yeah, right in, man. And it's charging quite fast. Well, I can't really tell how fast it's charging, but it's not like, it doesn't look like a weak charge. It popped right on and it's immediately charging, so that is good. So it's nice. There are 2 USB ports on here. You could actually plug this thing directly into your devices if you want to, or you can use the cable with the adapter on it. So that's pretty cool. I dig it. So that is a pretty nice 100-watt solar panel setup from ROCKPALS. Like I said, I'm not exactly an expert in portable solar panels and solar generators, but I'm learning and this won't be my last. Eventually, I'd like to have a setup that allows me to be able to charge my electric skateboards, electric bikes, maybe even run some small appliances, some larger small appliances, if that makes any sense. And I will have a review coming up soon for that Big Blue solar generator that I showed you in the video as well. Some things that I like about this panel setup from ROCKPALS It's small, it's lightweight. I think it's around 6 pounds. So super portable. And because I live in a condominium, it's easy to stash that thing. Also, it's plug and play. And not only that, it comes with a ton of adapters. So pretty much any way that you want to use it, including some onboard USB ports and a DC port. So I don't have to have anything else. I can just plug right into the panel. The other panel that I have, you can't do that. Some things that I don't love, well, it does have 4 big panels once it's folded out. I mean, it's nice and compact when it's folded up, but well, you have to really spread that thing out. And it doesn't have kickstands on it, so I'm like, okay, well, now I got to find something to lean it on. It'd be real nice if they just had something that just folded out, in 2 spots on there to let you be able to, just set it up on its own. Of course, depending on what time of day and, how direct the sun is and do you have clouds and all that kind of stuff is going to affect it. The highest I was able to get output from that into the Anker, because that is the one that actually tells you how much it's outputting, was 62 watts, which that's pretty respectable. Sure, they're advertised at 100 watts, but that's usually under perfect conditions from the way I understand it. I did pick this up on Amazon Prime Day, and I believe it was about 160. I think normally it's about 199. All in all, that seems about standard for what these things cost. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell. If you click both of those, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. I do have links down there for my social media, so if you're so inclined, I'd appreciate if you give me a follow on those. I certainly have a love for electronics, just about everything, including electric guitars, electric skateboards. Well, you get the picture. So I appreciate that you're watching these videos, and if there's something that you'd like me to cover here on the channel, well, let me know down in the comments. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.